Hello everybody and welcome to the Hindu Editorial Analysis. I am Saurabh Day and you are watching Adda247. Now my dear friends, usually what we do is we conduct a session, the live session in Hindi, and then yesterday I uploaded the English version for you as a form of a teaser. Now what today we'll do is we'll have the session in English, okay. Now when we shall conduct the session in English, this is also going to help you in improving your own conversation in English, alright. So what we'll do is that we'll have the session in English. I'll explain to you properly, slowly and steadily in English so that you are able to understand yourself. Some of you who might be better than in Hindi explanation, just try and improve yourself, okay guys, because this is very important as well. Because see, if you won't get English right now, then it will be very problematic for you to improve your own English even for the written exam level. So we shall conduct the today's session in English so that it also helps you in your written examination as well as in your interviews and various conversation. So guys, I hope we can start now. Let's take a look at first article of today. So guys, today's first article that I've picked is for a wider food basket. Now see, in total I'm going to discuss around 4 articles. See, this particular article is actually just a simple article and I'm going to give you a gist of this. Then there will be another article again of which I'm going to give you a gist of which, but then I've also picked up a very important article based on the 2G scam, and that we shall be discussing in detail. Okay my dear friends, so I suppose we can start now. Now see, the first article over here is for a wider food basket. Now see, this particular article is actually about malnutrition and various other aspects regarding food insecurity bill of India and food insecurity in India. Now see, for the last few decades, India's food and nutrition security has improved significantly due to technology, new irrigation techniques and better agricultural policies. Agricultural exports and food production have already been much better than ever, and these are all good news. But despite the decline in malnutrition, still the amount of malnourished and hungry people is very much in India. You know, that's the really very big problem. Now, why am I saying this thing? Because see, this is all written in this particular headline over here, in this particular article over here. And it goes on to explain that, you know what, India is not ranked very nicely, you know. In fact, India is ranked 114th in 132 countries of underdeveloped children under 5 years of age. And according to the Global Nutrition Report 2016, India is actually ranked 120th in 130 countries under the category of malnourished children below 5 years of age. So this is the base regarding this particular article. So this is not a major article for today, but yes, I thought that I should give you a summary of this article. So this is the basic summary of this article, and I'm pretty sure that if you go through this particular article, then you will be able to understand even more. Now guys, let's take a look at the next article that we have here for you. So here's the next article from you, from owning a home to feeling at home. Now this particular article is actually the Tamil community which is, you know, settled in Sri Lanka. So there have been some conflicts between the Tamil community and the Sri Lankan government or the actual Sri Lankan establishment. And in fact, the LTTE organization was actually a radical organization of Tamils only who have got settled in Sri Lanka because they faced lots of atrocities from the local Sri Lankan government. Alright. So anyway, now the LTTE is totally finished over there, but still the normal and regular Tamil community which has been a part of Sri Lanka for the last 200 years, this is about them only. So from owning a home to feeling at home, once again I'm going to give you a basic gist of this article because this is not the major article of today, and I hope that you enjoy the gist that I'm going to give you now. Now see, the first part that you need to understand over here is, see, what we have done over here, that you can see a lady in the picture over here. So we have picked up her example to explain to you what exactly is going on in here. Now, S. Indira Gandhi, not the Prime Minister of India, not the former Prime Minister of India, this lady whom you can see over here in this particular pic, S. Indira Gandhi now has a new home. She belongs to the Tamil community of Sri Lankan village. whose history has been linked to Sri Lanka. These communities, links have been to Sri Lanka for 200 years. But finally, she can call the land where her community has been residing for 200 years as home. That means there have been some hostilities between this particular community and the Sri Lankan establishment. But after 200 years, she can finally, the people of that community of Tamil community in Sri Lanka can finally call Sri Lanka home. So some changes have been there now. Now see, Mrs. S. Gandhi is a 33-year-old woman and together with her husband, she actually is giving a final touches to her permanent house in the Diagama locality of New Vera Elia district of the state of Central Province of Sri Lanka. So this is the main funda of this particular article. Now I hope, my dear friends, that you have been able to get the gist of it. Now it's very important that we start the main article of the day. But before starting the main article of the day, I want to confirm with all of you that, guys, okay, Shruti and some people are asking me to zoom this particular article. See, I am not going to zoom this particular article. The reason being because you will not be able to read this article on your own. For reading of your article, I am going to provide you the entire free PDF of the Hindu editorial, not of the Hindu editorial, of the Hindu newspaper separately. So from there, you can read the entire article. This is just to tell you that this is the article regarding which I am telling you the thing. So I hope you are getting the idea over here. Okay, my dear friend, I am just giving you the explanation over here. Alright, that's the case over here. But yes, you will get the entire Hindu newspaper absolutely for free in the PDF form once I upload it for you. Okay, guys. Now, alright, so yes, definitely. Now, I also want to ask you one more thing before I go towards the main article, that, in your opinion, what are the changes that I should do in this particular show? Tell me very clearly, what are the changes that you want me to do in this particular show? Come on, my dear friend, tell me. Okay, pehle wala zyada acha tha. So pehle wale mein, now see, there were a lot of stuffs over there. There were lots of points over there. So tell me the thing, that exactly what do you want? See, I have decided to include vocabulary and I shall include vocabulary from the next point of time. Now, what is the actual point over here? Except including vocabulary, what more do you want? Do you want questions over there? That's the thing. Okay, A.K. Pandey says a 75% day passed, now discuss. So perhaps A.K. Pandey wants me to conduct this show earlier and not so late. Alright. Okay, Avinash Dash wants our participation should be increased. Okay, Avinash, I'll ensure some things because of which you guys are able to participate even more. Add questions, says Somesh Srivastava. Alright. Okay, so I'll perhaps add some questions as well. So this is what you guys want, right? Basically, you want me to give you vocabulary quizzes, and then that I'll do for sure. And you also want me to include question and answer. Okay. Alright. Okay, so I will include those things. Okay, sir, Hindi mein batao, says Mahesh Kumar Meena. Now see, Mahesh Kumar Meena, okay, we'll do one thing. We'll have an English session. And we'll also have an Hindi session, okay? But today the session is going to be in English only, so that you at least try. Because see, if I keep on spoon feeding to you, then you will never be able to improve your English, okay? So for changes in life, for changes in lifestyle, for improvement in life, we have to accept changes, okay guys? So that is why today's change actually has been done to benefit you only. Because in the examination, the paper of English language, you will not get an option of converting all of that into Hindi. So you'll have to answer that into English only, right? So that is why today's session is only going to be in English. From the next time, I shall include Hindi as well, okay? Alright, now perhaps we can start and the main article of the day. By the way, this is regarding, can we go to the next article please? Okay, now another one, not this one, another one. Okay, so this is the next article that I think you guys would like to know. Now this is actually scam or folklore. Well, my dear friends, scam or folklore. Now this is a very, very important point over here because we are talking about 2G scam. Now guys, before I go further, can you guys tell me what exactly is the estimated loss to the exchequer? What was the estimated loss to the exchequer regarding the 2G scam? Come on guys, let's see if anybody can tell me. It was something in lakh crore. It will be really very good if you can give me the exact number. Now, having said that, I suppose I should go on and move forward towards the explanation of this particular article. Now see, it is not necessary. From what we can learn from 2G scam is that it is not necessary that the perpetrator of the law is guilty in the eyes of the criminal court. So perhaps somebody who has been proven guilty by the law need not be guilty in the eyes of the court, and that perhaps is what we can make from this particular case of 2G scam. The Supreme Court had confirmed in 2012 that the UPA government of Congress had scandalized the 2G spectrum allocation. So it's pretty obvious that, all of us had this thing in our mind that, see, the UPA government, the Congress government has done scams, and 2G scam is also a part of that only. And in fact, the Supreme Court has very clearly confirmed in 2012 that the UPA government of Congress had scandalized the 2G spectrum allocation. All right. Now, speaking on this, the Supreme Court had cancelled all the 122 telecom licenses in 2008 when the communication minister was A. Raja. So perhaps speaking on the same regarding that, you see, the Congress and the UPA has conspired, and they have done a scam, and perhaps because of their scams, 122 telecom licenses allotted to company in early 2008 was actually cancelled. And in fact, in 2008, the telecom minister was A. Raja. Now, with the trial court's en masse acquittal of all those arraigned by the Central Bureau of Investigation in the 2G spectrum allocation case, the claim that this was the biggest scam in India's history lies in tatters. So perhaps, a lot of people were saying that, see, this scam of 1.76 lakh crore, this was the number, and good to see that you were able to give me the correct numbers as well. So this scam of 1.76 lakh crore was perhaps the biggest scam in the history, but the way it was handled and the way that the judge O.P. Saini said that I have been waiting for 7 years for people to come forward and tell me, well, perhaps we can say that, something was definitely wrong, and this scam was perhaps not so big as big it was being projected as. Now, every ground that the CBI had adduced to prove that Mr. Raja manipulated the first come first serve based system to favor Swan Telecom and Unitech Wireless among others and help them make a windfall profit by offloading their stakes has been rejected by the special judge O.P. Saini. So perhaps the special judge who was handling this case of 2G spectrum, he has rejected all the claims of CBI regarding whatever CBI said regarding the then telecom minister A. Raja. Now, the immediate fallout is that the DMK, to which Mr. Raja belongs, and its national ally, the Congress, will at last be in a position to shake off the perception that they were irredeemably beset by corruption. So perhaps the immediate winners of this particular case are two. And they are whom? They are the DMK and they are the Congress. Because now DMK and the Congress will be able to come forward and will be able to say that, see, we have been framed and we were not as corrupt as we were being shown as. Okay, so that can be the case where these guys can come forward and say. Now, especially the Congress in particular is now in a position to reiterate that spectrum allocation resulted in zero loss, also that its rule between 2004 and 2014 was not as scam tainted as it was generally made out, a perception that has impacted its electoral performance since. Now, so the Congress now can come forward and say that their rule between 2004 and 2014 had not been so much scandalized as it was been shown as during the elections of 2014, and perhaps that particular image of scandalized image of Congress has actually harmed it a lot even till the late electoral performance, where it has been constantly losing since 2014 except the elections of Punjab. Now, let's go forward. Now, another point over here is that attention will now turn to Vinod Rai. Now, can you tell, my dear friends, who was Vinod Rai? And why are we talking about Vinod Rai right now? Alright, now see, attention will now turn to Vinod Rai because he was whom? He was the CAG of that particular time, and he had pegged the laws or as a result of not auctioning the spectrum at 1.76 lakh crore contributed to the perception that a huge scam had taken place. So it was basically the then CAG Vinod Rai who had come forward and said that because of this particular 2G spectrum allocation not done in a proper way, the exchequer has faced a loss of 1.76 lakh crore, and this 1.76 lakh crore was actually the money of the common taxpayers of the country. Now, many had argued that the figure was only notional. So a lot of people had said that, see, this figure is being shown like this, but this is just a notional figure and this is not a practical figure. Mr. Raja said that not revising the entry fee and not auctioning spectrum ensured cheap telephony, increased teledensity and contributed to the sector's overall development. So Mr. Raja said that, see, yes, there have been changes which he did regarding the telecom allotment, but because of these changes, the telecom sector actually gained and it actually improved. He has been undoubtedly vindicated, but there is a lesson for everyone along to the saga. Public prosecution and audit reports cannot be the sole basis for criminal courts, for criminal trials. So perhaps, definitely that, see, Mr. Raja has been proven right, because yes, the way after 2G scam happened, it had actually helped the telecom sector. But then again, there is a thing that all of us can learn, and that is just because of public perception and on the basis of sole reports of some particular organization, we cannot deem anybody as a criminal. Now, eliminating graft from public life is not only about making allegations stick during election time, but also about diligent investigation and efficient prosecution. So see, during election, a lot of people make speeches, but then again, just see, if you are searching something, definitely corruption has to be removed. But just by giving speeches without any proper investigation, nothing can be proved and corruption will never be removed. Now, the CBI's image has taken a beating, with the court calling it out for its waning enthusiasm in pursuing the case. So perhaps the special court judge O.P. Saini said that he had been waiting for 7 years. He had been waiting for 7 long years, constantly coming to the court, even during the various handling vacation cases, in the hope that somebody would come and somebody would present the witness regarding this 2G scam. But nobody came forward, and this perhaps actually has hit the image of the Central Bureau of Investigation of CBI of India. Now, there's a cloud over the present government's committee to fighting the corruption. Yes, there's also a cloud regarding the present government that, see, they seem very determined regarding the fighting of the case, but are they going to do anything about this or not? It may yet have a chance to redeem itself, as the CBI has said it will appeal the verdict. So the CBI has also said that it is going to, appeal against this particular verdict, and that's what the CBI had said. Well, let's move forward. Let's understand even more. Now, an appeal is in order given the sweeping dismissal of CBI's contention, so sweeping that it dismisses arguably a tad too breezily. So this is the point over here. So the CBI has taken a hit and perhaps something new is required. But the thing is that without proper investigation, nobody should be labeled a criminal and vice versa. Now, after this particular article, I suppose we should go towards the previous article, which is not a main article, but yes, you should have a gist of it. Can we go to the previous one, please? Okay, so this is the Austrian shift. Now see, I'll tell you the basic gist of it. I can tell you without even reading right now. See, new elections have been conducted in Australia, in the country of Austria. This is in Europe, by the way. And I suppose you guys would know about this new thing, and that is, everybody is becoming extremely conservative in Europe, and they are becoming extremely conservative, and there's lots of two things are the basis of which they are causing a lot of hatred. I suppose you guys are hearing me right now. So guys, are you able to understand? All right. Acha. So a lot of people are saying, okay, I'll slow my speed down. All right, guys. Anyway, now see, there are 2 points that you need to understand. And that is, my dear friends, that a lot of changes are going on in Europe. and there's a lot of conservatism that's going on. See, the first point is that they are totally against people who come in. They are totally against immigration programs. They are totally against immigrants, and not only that, they have developed some special kind of fear regarding other communities which are non-native communities of their country. For example, Europeans have developed a special fear regarding Islam and other communities. Maybe that has been because of some attacks which occurred in the past, but it does not mean that you link some particular religion with a particular terrorism. But this is what has been going on, and because of which an extremely conservative and right-wing party of this particular country of Austria has come into the power, and perhaps that is because of the perception of the people of Austria that this rightist party came to the power. Okay, well, now guys, let's move forward and let's understand even more. Okay, yes, I have already slowed down. Okay guys, so this is the case that this particular article is about, and I am sure that when I'll give you the link of the Hindu newspaper, you will be able to understand it. Okay, alright, so sorry about being going like a bullet train, but see, the thing is that I am from Lucknow, and recently we have got metro. So it's more like that I'm going like metro than a bullet train right now. Well, anyway, so that's the case. Now let's take a look at the final article. Let's go move two articles right now. Yes, let's go to the final article. That's a very main article, and this is regarding GST, a work in progress. All right. So today, okay, Saurabh Parmar is saying, Bhaiyo Behno, Hindi nahi hai. Today, the live session is in English, but yes, you will get a recorded session in Hindi. Okay, so you will get a recorded session in Hindi. Right now, the live session is in English. Okay. Now, Rajan is saying, sir, slide zoom, please, not able to see the word. Now, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but then again, this slide is just to show you which article is being discussed. This is not for you to read. I am going to explain everything to you in a very simple way. When you want to read, you will be able to read through the Hindu PDF that I shall provide you. Okay, guys? Now, let's understand. Okay. Well, this particular article is regarding the GST, a work in progress. So this is perhaps something that gives you the idea that, see, perhaps GST has been brought out as a half-cooked meal, which actually deserved better way in which it should have been presented, or something like that. Now, see, the introduction of the Goods and Services Tax raised much hope that it would herald the emergence of good and simple tax with one nation, one market, one tax. However, there has been considerable concern with the new tax, both in structure and operational details, including the ease of paying tax and filing returns. So initially, what was the scene? That the scene was that, GST is actually good and simple tax, and it has the idea of one nation, one tax. But in reality, what actually it had lots of filing, and because of which trade and industry, they were hit very badly. Trade and industry have been grappling with the problem of payment, filing the returns and claiming input tax credit, and exporters have been facing liquidity crisis as the zero rating of the tax has not worked and refunds have not been forthcoming, with difficulty in filing returns. So, now a lot of issues are there. For example, the trade and industry, they are actually grappling, or they are struggling with the problem of payment, filing the returns, because they are not able to file their returns properly, and they are not able to claim the input tax credit properly, and the exporters are facing the problem because there is a lot of liquidity crisis, as the zero rating of the tax, which was there, by the way, it has not worked, and the refunds which should have arrived, they have also not come. So this is also a very problem that has been there. Now, of course, the GST Council has been quite responsive to tweak the structure and operational details to make it simpler. So now what actually the GST Council did, if you guys remember, before Diwali, what happened is that the GST Council, it met and it announced that, now the steps are going to be easier. So yes, definitely, the various structure of the GST has got simplified and the structures have been made simpler, but yes, it is still a little problematic. Yet considerable work needs to be done to ensure a smooth transition and reap the revenue and productivity gains to the economy. So perhaps just the way we have brought back the Hindu Editorial Analysis, but you are having lots of problems and you are asking me to changes, and yes, I shall include the changes. In the same way, the GST which has been introduced recently, it requires a lot of change right now, and perhaps a lot of work has to be done in it. Okay. So before I move forward in the next para, I hope that you guys are able to understand. Okay. Now, history of GST. Introduction of the GST is an important reform and is a standard policy recommendation for every country going in for the structural adjustment program of the International Monetary Fund. So see, the way this GST was introduced, see, this is actually on a serious note, it's a very important reform, and this, it is going to change the entire structure of the taxation. It has changed, and this is going to be a very, very important thing which has been certified as a structural adjustment program of the International Monetary Fund. Now, this has been a major money spinner and a source of productivity gain. So, when you talk about the benefits of GST, historically it has always been seen that GST has been a major money spinner and it has been a source for productivity gain because it has provided lots of gains to the governments in the past which have used it in the past. Now, according to Michael Keane, of over 165 countries which have adopted GST in one form or another, only 5 have repealed it. So, more than 165 countries, let's just say it's 167, more than, or 166, let's just say out of 166 countries. Now listen to me carefully, I need to understand this. You need to understand this. Out of 166 countries, only 5 of the countries, and they are namely Belize, Ghana, Grenada, Malta and Vietnam, have repealed it. The rest, the other 160 plus countries have not repealed it, and they are very happy with GST. Now, but then again, and those countries which have repealed it, which have removed it, they have again reintroduced the tax later. So that's the case. That means GST is good anyway. The GST has taken center stage in many countries and is considered important in view of the competitive reduction in corporation tax rates due to high mobility of the capital. So this is the case, it has been considered a very, very important in view of the competitive reduction in corporation tax rates due to high mobility of the capital. So there's lots of mobility in the capital over here. It is also true that there is no one size fits all GST, and each country has to adopt the structure depending on political bargains and operational feasibility. So definitely a lot of political and operational issues are there. So every country has adopted it in a different manner because there is not a single structure of GST which can be applied to each and every country. Each and every country is different, and perhaps their cultures are different and their operational feasibility is different. So that is why GST has been constantly changed and molded into the needs of the country before it has been applied. Now, it is a major reform, and even as every country makes a lot of preparation before it is introduced, it takes time to smoothen the rough edges and settle contentious issues. So that's the case. So perhaps, before it becomes smooth, we need to, smoothen the rough edges and settle the contentious issues. So this is what it has been going on. Now guys, see, this is the basic gist of this, and I think, well, yes, exactly, 166 countries, that's the case. So this is the basic gist of this particular article that and we have discussed GST again and again and again, so I'm pretty sure that you have this very, very nicely. Now understand one thing very clearly. From Monday, that is from Monday, which is going to be 25th of December. Oh, that's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Anyway, from Monday, we are going to restart the Hindu Editorial Analysis in a proper way. And you know what? The fixed time is going to be 7 to 8 p.m. Okay? I hope you can repeat after me over here. The Hindu Editorial Analysis will be conducted from 7 to 8 p.m. from Monday. Okay, my dear friends? Now, let me tell you what you will find in your Hindu Editorial Analysis from Monday. You will find, first of all, the show will be conducted into 2 sessions, okay? There will be an English session and there will be a English session. Okay, so perhaps English session and an English session. All right, now that's the first thing. The second point, by the way, which I'm going to include from Monday is, as you guys wanted, there will be questions. There will be questions. That means, you know what? There will be spotting error questions, and if possible, then we shall include the comprehension questions, which I think will not be possible because there will be lots of editorial articles to discuss. Now, we can do one thing. Either we can discuss less editorial articles or we can include comprehension questions. So, what do you think, guys? One editorial, can we discuss less editorial articles, or shall we discuss, or shall we discuss all of this? Either we can discuss TV. Who says Bhanu Pratap, you want to watch TV, you can watch TV. Then again, another question is that you want to become something in your life and then watch TV, or just keep on watching TV. The choice is yours, my dear friend. Alright, so we can, so I think we can discuss all the articles. Alright, so we can discuss all the articles. That will be very good. Yes. So English session will also be there and English session will also be there. That's going to be the case. Alright. So the second point, now see, the first one I said there's going to be an English session and there's going to be an English session. 7 to 8 p.m. is the time. And then, okay, now you like the video. Thank you, Saurabh Parmar. By the way, so that's the first thing. And time has been fixed, 7 to 8 p.m. There will be 2 sessions and there will be questions. And yes, one last point, there will also be vocabulary. And another last point is that you'll have the Hindu newspaper PDF for free. Should I give you that the entire Hindu newspaper for free, or should I not give you? What do you say? Should I give you the entire Hindu newspaper PDF for free? If you don't want, I will not give you. What do you say, guys? Should I give you the entire Hindu newspaper for free or not? What do you say? Okay. All right. Well, I can see your answers. Some people are saying yes, some are saying no. Okay, then I'll think. But I think, okay, one editorial is enough, says Shama Sweet. But then again, Shama Sweet, see, just one editorial is not going to help you a lot, because see, in the examination, you will have a comprehension and you might have other passage-based questions as well. And the thing is that the more articles we discuss, the possibility increases for you only, because this is not only going to help you in a single examination, but this is going to help you in various examinations. Okay, so a lot of people are saying yes regarding the free Hindu editorial, regarding the free Hindu newspaper PDF. Okay, then I'm going to give you that. Now, before we end the session, I want you to give me a smiley over here, all right? And then we'll end the session, and perhaps if you give me some smileys and some nice smileys, then we'll have an Hindi session as well. We'll have a Hindi session today. So tell me, my dear friends, are you going to be happy about this? Can we have the Hindi session? Are you going to give me some smileys? Can we have the Hindi sessions? Okay. All right, guys. Now, but anyway, I think many of you will be having non-Hindi friends as well. So people who are more comfortable with English, or who are seriously concerned about improving their English, you can share the link of this video with them. And if you like the video, you can also like the video, and that's the case. Okay, guys? So I'll be back with the Hindi version of this video as well. But as of now, that's all for the day, and peace out.